some people, I'm sure you know this, but some people have even dressed up as you for Halloween.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not looking for accolades from anyone. I'm looking here today to sentence you in this case, and I'm frankly more interested in your thoughts on that than your opinion of me.
Darrell Brooks Jr. is a smooth operator. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Everything Else Channel on YouTube, everythingelsechannel.com. Want to show you the Kermit here. Happy holidays. Please make sure to like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Also, there's a button down below. Press that button. It's not going to stop the video. It's not going to take you to a faraway place. You'll just subscribe to the channel and then leave a comment down below. So, Darrell Brooks Jr. in his sentencing tried a lot of last-ditch maneuvers. I see what you're doing there. And one of those was trying to flatter Judge Doro and saying, you know, Judge, there's even kids out there that are dressing up as you for Halloween. I mean, I don't know if that's like, you know, necessarily out of the Darrell Brooks Jr. how to be a Mac playbook, but he was trying real hard to flatter the judge, and she was having no part of it. I mean, you know, I'm sure that, you know, with all these televised trials that she's done and her runs for state office, you know, I'm sure she's been wined and dined. You know, she's married, but you know what I mean, the political schmoozing that goes on the campaign trail, and also maybe some of these, like, you know, legal functions. You know, there's probably like Supreme Court justices, governors, you know, movie stars, you know, all sorts of hoopla and paparazzi, you know, to get hit on by Darrell Brooks Jr. is like, huge step down. But, you know, I thought it was interesting because we've seen him during the trial try to be this menacing thug-like, you know, the business kind of guy, takes his shirt off, sits on top of the desk, stares the judge down, you know what I mean, kind of guy. And then we see him telling the judge, hey, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, Judge, because I know this from my pod at the Waukesha Justice Whatever Center. But I know this, so you must know this. The world must know this. There's so many people that want to be you, that emulate you. I mean, there's like little girls that are, you know, dressing up as you for Halloween. And the judge is like, look, I don't want any part of this. I don't need the accolades. But she could see what was going on. And this clip was actually after 2 or 3 compliments beforehand. So she actually kind of had to sit there. And you got to understand, I think that for the judge, in a way, it's humiliating for her to sit there taking compliments from a guy like Darrell Brooks Jr., knowing full well they're not sincere compliments. Not that she wants them anyways, but they're just maneuvers by a manipulator that at no point in time during the sentencing took any accountability, responsibility for what he did. In fact, even to the last moment was saying, I don't understand the charges. I don't understand why I'm here. Where is the plaintiff? What is going on here? So the reality matters is that he even said, the very first thing that she said to him on another clip, and I've got like 80 clips that I'm going to use. I just, you know, I don't want to like inundate the channel with just one type of video, but the first thing that she said during the sentencing guidelines and the sentencing portion of the trial was, look, the state made their recommendations. The victims made their recommendations. I want to hear from you, the accused, you know, the convicted at this point, how I should, you know, render sentence. You know, she wanted to get his input. And the very first thing he said was, well, I served a year, so that should get rid of count 77. I mean, that was the first thing that he said. I served a year already. You know, that would have been a great opportunity for him to say, I'm sorry. I should have not done what I did. I should not have been the way that I was during the trial. And there's nothing to say you shouldn't zealously defend yourself. That's what an attorney would do. But to put the victims through the nightmare that he did, to put the court staff through the nightmare that he did, to have sabotaged the process to the point that he had to be taken to other courtrooms and other cells and could still be heard yelling down the hallways, could have used that opportunity to say sorry for that. He was never going to walk out. He was never going to be a free man, but he could have at least, he could have changed his ways just for a minute. Even if not real, he could have done that. I don't know what that would have gotten him. You know, maybe, in fact, maybe, you know, here we sit and say, look, it wouldn't have made a difference anyways. It may have. I mean, maybe he would have had, you know, a little bit more benefits in prison. Maybe he would have gone to a different prison in the state. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it would have been the right thing to do. And the right thing to do it matters. You know what I mean? It doesn't, you don't do the right thing to do because you're going to get something better at the other side. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And he never did the right thing. He didn't do the right thing by Waukesha during the parade, during the trial, afterwards. I mean, he's still, from what I understand, adamant that he's innocent. I mean, how can you, now maybe innocent by way of mental insanity, maybe innocent because he wants to blame the world, but he does not take accountability. So, the whole trial, he was recalcitrant. The whole trial, he was trying to attack people and even stare down victims and survivors. I mean, that just to me is just, absolutely outrageous, because here you have a guy responsible for so much pain and so much suffering. And at the end of the day, he's immune to it all. He could care less. I mean, he even said in the trial, there's pain on this side as well. He, at one point in time said, we've heard about all of this side of the trial for a whole year. Now it's my turn to tell my side. I mean, just absolutely insensitive, just almost heartless, not almost, definitely heartless. I mean, and I say almost because he does feel pain for his family, not for the victims of what he did. So that's why I say almost heartless, because the little bit of heart that he has is reserved for his people, his mom, his grandma, his children, his ex-roommate, his people, not, the people that he harmed, not the men and women and children, the survivors, the judges, the court staff, even the reporters. I mean, I believe that the reporters maybe even have some PTSD going as well, because there's a big difference between what they saw in court and what was put out to the media. A lot of the stuff that they saw in court through evidence is stuff that they can't undo. They can't not unsee it. You know what I mean? They've seen it. You know what I mean? And the reality of the matter is that even when confronted with some of the most, graphic, results of what he did in the police interrogation room, he was unfazed. And while this was the first and only time that he did something like this, even looking at what he did not faze him. He is honestly a sociopath in so many ways. And one of those ways is trying to compliment the judge after staring her down, after threatening her, disrespecting her, making a mockery of her bench. Now he tries to say, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's kids that are dressing up like you, Your Honor. And in another clip calls her a superhero. So, for the judge to hear that, not only has she been through being terrorized by this guy, disgusted by this guy, but now she's got to get humiliated by this guy as he tries to run a little, little smooth operator game on her, thinking even for a second that she's going to fall for that. It's just, it goes to show you what kind of a person Darrell Brooks Jr. is. And I don't care what Dawn says or Dr. Mary Edwards says or the roommate says. It shows us that this guy is a heartless, just absolutely heartless, incapable of remorse type individual. And, even to the very last opportunity, he showed his true colors. Guys, I hope that you liked this video. For me and Kermit, I hope that you guys will like, comment, and subscribe. Everything Else channel on YouTube, everythingelseChannel.com.